Happy Friday. I've come out to one of my safety zones, which is the mountain bike tracks. It's the only place I can ever get any quiet and experience a bit of relief from the EMF effects and the weapons. It's atmospheric 24/7 when it's not actually targeted assaults. This is a video that I've long time been meaning to make, how to basically protect yourself from the weapons, and I'm going to go through every single area of the topic, and I'm going to start with the catalysts, then I'm going to go into the weapons, and then I'm going to go into the prevention. So, your catalysts, your main ones, is dietary. You've got aluminium sulfite in all of your salts, which are in all of your manufactured foods. It's in your table salt. Aluminium is a amplifier of radar. So when that's floating around in your bloodstream, it is very easy to make a direct connection with alongside with the nanotech that they're putting in things like beer. They can use all kinds of manipulation and or assaults. So if you're going to use salt, make sure it's natural salt. However it is, I'm not going to be a bit of a narc about it, but you should know that anything with any numbers in your food is dodgy. It shouldn't have numbers. It should have food ingredients. So, aluminium is a catalyst. You've got nanotech in beer. You see, the way alcohol works is like a balloon. It pumps up your blood vessels and it allows blood flow to move much faster. At the same time, it deprives your brain of oxygen, which makes you feel drowsy. Same with smoking. 80% of the high of a cigarette is lack of oxygen to the brain, and only 20% is nicotine. And when you're drunk already, you're able to be possessed electronically. People say that it's this demon called Al-Cool. It's bullshit. It's totally physical. It's physiological science. But when they put nanotech in the beers, which I think it's in all beer, then they're able to um, blast you with V2K, artificial emotions, artificial rape and artificial torture, uh, neural control, and it's like you're a sitting duck if you're doing that. But you can get past that because it doesn't matter what there is on the supermarket shelf, there is always an alternative for the elites. So the meat, the alternative for the elites for eating meat is not going to be your T-bone steak, even if it's grass-fed. There's nanotech in that. They've shown you do it plenty of times. It's fed to the cows and it's injected in the meat. There are always areas of the butcher where if you're willing to pay $80 a kilo, you can get grass-fed aged beef from the cellar. Otherwise, your alternative is going to be wild game of meat, as long as it isn't processed. And your only other alternative from that is local produce seafood. So I've been eating prawns and my body needs it. I've tried to go vegetarian and even vegan, but I end up with very bad skin. So I've got to eat meat at least once every 2 weeks. And there's lots of beers out there, the ones that don't have any seemingly adverse effects, which are very descriptive of electronic weaponry, they all have 33 on the label, 330 mil. So if you have a look at your products, 33 is normally a sign that it's good. So the elites can read that. There's a code and everything. Just think if you were a Mason or Illuminati and you travel to a town and you want to go and get yourself a beer, you're going to know what to get. And it's normally going to be a top shelf import with 33 on it. Other catalysts are anything aluminium in the infrastructure. So, aluminium window screens, security screens. I've used my EMF meter on them and they blast EMF. Also, aluminium park benches, you're sitting on a radar. Try to sit on the ground, try to sit on the grass. I don't sit on aluminium park benches, just full stop. Your mattress, if you're still sleeping on a spring coil mattress, don't ever complain about being targeted because you're sitting on a radar. It's a giant battery of harmful electronic pollution. You've got to get rid of that first and foremost. And then the next one, go away, flies. I got totally distracted there. Just let me collect myself. What was I talking about? I was talking about spring coil mattresses. Your next catalyst is hair. So your hair is an antenna. It's actually Latin for antenna. It collects etheric energy. It collects energy pollution. You need to dampen it. Now, how you dampen it is by rubbing oil in it. So I use coconut oil every time I leave the house. I will not leave the house without drenching it in coconut oil, combing it through thoroughly, and the relief is incredible. I can't go out without doing it. Even better is shave your head and oil your scalp. That's what monks do. I think there's a lot of methodology behind the things that monks do. Priests, they're not allowing demons to hang on to their antennas. Another catalyst is DNA. So your DNA is also an antenna. These weapons, these companies that are trying to harvest your DNA are putting it into a database. This way they're finding out everything about you. The technocratic powers that be are also making clones of you, digital clones, to which they can feed information about your daily routine. And hopefully, if you're under the weather, you're full of nanoparticles, aluminium, and you're low vibration from eating too much meat, they can try to artificially merge this clone in with you and possess you, especially if you're drunk. So you're watching the world turn violent. It's like watching a very, very bad, gratuitously violent slasher flick. Watching the news these days, I'm not even sure how much of it is true. I think that a lot of it is false flags just to impose restrictions on travel and weapons, axes and tools, all those things they're trying to take from us. So your DNA is your antenna. It is in the database, stored in the skyscraper-sized D-Ware hard drives with all of the information. That's essentially the Skynet of this day. I'm sure that there's even more of it underground in case it ever got nuked. So, how you can confuse your DNA. Number one, keep high vibrational. There's your auric defense. Number two, wear wool. There's a reason why there's some people, one person will be targeted in a group of a crowd at a concert or a bar. One person will could almost be incapacitated by weapons, and that's because they're targeting his DNA. So I went over in another video. You can use things like car leather care. It's a leather gum which is made out of emu oil, beeswax, and lanolin, which comes from sheep's wool. I haven't ever had relief like I had when I figured that out. And don't ever wear poly because it's a conductor of static electricity. It's also a massive testosterone inhibitor. Here's another thing that you do. I also take good quality testosterone supplements, but only when I'm trying to tweak my DNA to change the signal enough to get little bit of relief. Because no matter how much you look after yourself, eventually the system will configure it again and find out a way to target you. So that's why I still drink, because if I can, even in peak physical cleanliness and fitness, I still sometimes get targeted so much that it's debilitating. So dropping an atom bomb on my DNA sometimes, on my signal, will be to drink a dozen beers. So I'm pretty sure that's the DNA covered. Um, your weapons, first and foremost, are going to be the 5G towers. There's a couple of panels on there. I've heard that they've got an ounce of gold in them. The reason why they have an ounce of gold in them is gold resonates at the most amount of frequencies. So if you're trying to harvest human energy and and tap into auric fields, because a lot of this stuff is merged with Kundalini um, witchcraft, you're going to want to have a catalyst or a weapon which is going to be able to receive the most amount of signals, which is gold. The rest of them, all of the emitters are aluminium. They're able to uh, fry the population and torture them. I went out to my old school a couple of years ago and collected all the tyres from the scrub around the school, the tyres that people have been ditching. It was somewhere around 100 of them. And the next day I had surface skin burns all over my body and I was throwing up because it was around this tower. So aluminium um, is a radar. It's a super emitter. Aluminium's not your friend. The planes that are going over you, the planes that just mirrors, they just have pretty heavy duty radar systems. And your signal is already being detected, and a mirror with a transmission coming from somewhere. I couldn't tell you where, but I could guess it's from military bases or the 5G towers, in conjunction with the planes, is targeting you. Now, I notice the more planes that I let fly over me, um, the worse my attitude becomes, the thoughts which aren't me, um, artificial rape, anxiety. This is being delivered by the planes. I don't even think the pilots know they're doing it. They just receive a waypoint, and you're the waypoint that they fly over. They're told by air traffic control how far to fly and all of that, so they get a nice low altitude as they fly over and buzz you. Hmm. The way that I deal with that is by being away from Wi-Fi, away from Bluetooth, and away from LED light the moment I start hearing a plane coming in. And more or less, they're all flying over me all the time. If there's planes in the sky, they're going to be flying over me. Your Bluetooth, your Wi-Fi, your LED light all work together to create a nice digital picture of you inside your house, especially if you're eating table salt with aluminium in it and you've got smart dust in the air from the um, chemtrails. So if you unplug your laptop, if you're not using Bluetooth, if you're sleeping on a wool mat on your mattress, which isn't a spring coil mattress, if you have something to cover your window with, like a sheet of roof sarking or wall sarking, which is metallic, cover up all gaps in the window, they're not going to be able to fry you through the window. The way that they're frying me is I've got one neighbour, 34 Kilgariff Crescent, and another neighbour, 24 Kilgariff Crescent, have LED floodlights blasting in the sky all day and all night. I've climbed a tree and I've looked at 34 Kilgariff, and they actually have a four-wheel drive light bar that should be sitting on a bull bar. They have one strapped to the wall pointing upwards. And the one at 24 have a LED floodlight on their roof near their hot water system pointing upwards, illuminating the area. Aluminium is the radar in the air, the smart dust in the air, and on my windowsill, my security screen. And with the LED light working as to illuminate the other catalysts, they're able to target me very specifically. So when they target me, a lot of it is uh, dream interrogation, memory erasure, implanting of false memories, and the last one is physical assault. But I've gotten it to a point now where it's only doing 20% of the damage out of a scale of 100 like it was 2 months ago. So this is being done by using oil on my hair, drinking the purest water with no fluoride in it, sleeping on a wool mat, and the last one that I forgot to cover, which is a absolute atom bomb for this, is I've got a sheet of waxed canvas. It's beeswax. Nothing can get through that. I'm sleeping like an absolute baby. So what they're doing now instead is they get every single morning. It's pretty well spot on 3 a.m. I've got a loud V8 just turning around the block with no muffler. You could hear it from 10 kilometers away if it was 10 kilometers away. And what they're doing a lot of the time when they're doing noise assignments is they're using directed energy weapons at the same time. Because that's when I wake up with the surface skin burns, is after these noise assignments are happening. And they go from upwards of um, 5 hours. Sometimes they go until business hours start. The police never pick them up. A couple of times there wasn't any noise assignment happening, and I wake up and I'm feeling the same symptoms of extremely high and pumped up blood, like I've just had 4 shots of whiskey, and I'm hyperactive, and I can't go back to bed. And there's a humming. It's um, going high and low and high and low, and it's coming off from the distance. I guess those are days when they don't have any gang stalking gronks to perform the noise assignments. Another weapon that they use is a lot of these gang stalkers do have illegal weapons inside of their vehicle, which um, microwave you as they go past. And these are against the Geneva Convention, they're war crimes. So just thinking about that, the seriousness of that crime, there is all kinds of um, infrastructure and businesses put in place to be able to service service this army of criminals. Make sure that they have weapons, that they have drivers, make sure that they can dismantle them and destroy them very quickly. It's technology that's been around since the 1950s, probably a lot longer. It could be 100 years old. It's just a battery charge and an amplifier, essentially, with a coil. Uh, I think that sort of covers everything. Like I said, I don't like to be a know-it-all, but 10 years I've been aware of this program now, and I've wasted so many chances because I haven't been doing this. When I was working as a apprentice diesel mechanic, I looked like I had been up all night at the bar every single night. I looked like an absolute vagrant because of the directed energy weapons. Eyes were drooping, my face was puffy, I had a bad attitude. And this is after sleeping 12 hours every single night. So that's how bad it can get. On with jobs. If you can, the best job that you can get to be away from targeting is to be a landscape gardener. You're earthing yourself all the time, you're around fresh energy all the time, and you're always moving. So it's very hard for them have a um, to have a gang stalking team intercept you every day or set up any targeting weapons. If they can, they'll always put you into a job which is around towers. So my diesel apprenticeship job, I was around 3 towers in very close proximity. I also had LED lights on me 24/7. I believe that it was a setup and organised through the gang stalking program and the people that I was with working for. If they can't try to kill you, if they can't try to indoctrinate you, give you the give you the forbidden fruit which they've all taken, then if they can't do any of that, then they're going to slander you. And if they can't slander you, if you're still a good person, then they're going to funnel you into jobs that leave you with missing time on your resume to the point where you've got nothing to be proud of on your resume. So I've got a 4 year gap on my resume. Even jobs that I've excelled in, they fired me from in the end. They find a reason. They'll normally try to abuse you until you leave, which I know how it works. They abuse you until they can get you to quit so that they don't have to put you on full time. This is how these Masonic jobs work. But instead, on one job, I just hung in there and put up with the abuse and the death threats and the electronic assaults until they made me redundant and I got $3,000 out of it. And that's what you got to do. You've got to do everything you can to be a stand-up person and try to leave a good track record. I can apply for 40 jobs, all of which that I've done for 20 years, and they will not hire me for a job unless it's putting me in danger, putting me under electronic surveillance, or setting me up for a very bad accident like asbestos, um, dangerous chemicals, putting me into a situation that they can control. Right now, I think it's either time to just leave the country or move into the woods because there's just nothing here anymore. Got to go try to find a farm job. Let's hope that works out for me. Thanks for listening to my rambling. It's been a very hard few days. They seem to come and do an assignment in one big go now because I think the gang stalkers are disappearing fast. Okay, thanks. See ya.